The art of the layover. One could hardly be blamed for seeing Singapore as like a foodie theme park.
2 fish heads one day, awesome. Oh man, looks ugly going in the bowl, but man, is it good. I'd like to thank Jesus for this meal.
No, I never said that. You misremember, sir. Last thing you want to do is run around like a headless chicken shoving food in your face and drinking. You'll feel like crap when you finally get back on the plane, if you even make the plane.
I've been to Singapore many times before. I got a lot of history here. Good times, bad times. But some things are constants. It's a 17-hour flight from New York, and this time anyway, a 5 a.m. arrival. My flight's tomorrow, just before noon. That gives me a little more than 30 hours to fill, and there's plenty to do. Despite all my trips here, I don't think I've ever seen a cop. But know this, when they say no drugs in Singapore, they are not kidding. And I mean really, really not kidding. You bring drugs, even a bag of weed in here with you, you are easily the dumbest person alive.
Basically, if you come to Singapore, you can speak English. Basic English, everybody on the road will be able to understand.
Singapore's made of 3 major different races. So you've got the Chinese, the Malays, and the Indians. But you also have a growing expat community. So you've got the Filipinos and from Bangladesh and Thailand. So even though we have such a huge diverse range of races and ethnicities in Singapore, the common thread that really runs down the road for Singaporeans is food.
New York may be the city that never sleeps, but Singapore's the city that never stops eating. For a gastro-tourist, somebody who travels to eat, any kind of serious eater, Singapore's probably the best place you can go for maximum bang in a minimum period of time. In this one tiny city-state, which you can cross by car in like 45 minutes, you can find more variety, more options, more specialties from many lands, and cheap than just about anywhere else.
I would advise, honestly, for you to come to Singapore and actually just come and eat. If you only got a couple of hours, try and eat. Go through Little India, go through Chinatown.
Chinese specialties from regions all across China and down the Straits. Malay cooking, Indian. There's something for everybody. And Singaporeans love their food. And they're refreshingly not snobby about it where they get it. Fancy restaurant or tiny hawker stand, whoever's got it good is what matters. Worst thing that can happen to you in Singapore is you get a mediocre meal. And even that is unlikely. You sure as hell won't get robbed or pickpocketed. Crime here is basically non-existent.
Singapore is the best place for the simple reason. From a humble Malay fishing village, it turned around to be the global city. Why? As you can see for yourself, we have all kinds of delicious multicultural food.
It's about a 25-minute cab ride to my hotel, a verdant, tree-covered route straight into town. The Grand Hyatt, right off Orchard Road, Singapore's main shopping district. Now, mass transit from the airport's good too. The train gets you into town for $2 and takes a little longer, about 45 minutes. For a little less, there's the number 36 bus.
Taken this ride many times before. So I have pressing matters to deal with. I gotta download the brown file. I really have a problem with, drop the kids off at the pool and on planes. Then living in airports and eating plane food. You reek out the entire cabin. Plus, because there's no water in there, right? You get like that sort of, Jackson Pollock effect off times.
I'll tell you right up front, I stay at the Grand Hyatt because I've been put up here regularly for years, and at this point, they treat me good. Real good. Also, refreshingly for a hotel, they've brought street food inside. Instead of the usual grim breakfast nook, it's actually pretty awesome. But if you want to do the whole old world British colonial thing, pink gin and pith helmet, there's the Fullerton. Or for more affordable hipster boutique-y, there's the swingin' new Wanderlust Hotel in Little India. Each room is one of a kind and neon a recurring theme. At the Hyatt, I get a free upgrade to the damn presidential suite. This is a first for me, and I gotta admit, I'm liking it.
Oh, wow. Swank, this is like totally, it's like a 50-cent room. Looks good. What the? Oh, kitchen. Swinging. Whoa. Check this out. Steam and aromatherapy attachment. You gotta love that. Nice. Unfortunately, I'll be unable to enjoy any of this because I've only got 24 hours in it.
Quick shower, no time to fire up the sauna, unfortunately. I'm off to the Tiong Bahru Hawker Center for breakfast. On any 24-hour trip here, you'd be foolish to not plan at least 3 meals from any one of the hawker centers. The hawker centers of Singapore were a shrewd strategy to incorporate and control what was once a chaotic but pervasive culture of street carts. To control the health, safety, and traffic aspects, vendors were brought inside these covered structures, still open to the air, but in stalls with regulated running water, refrigeration, and strict rules of food handling. So basically, you don't have to worry about getting poisoned.
Any food writer in the history of the world who comes to Singapore ends up in the careful embrace of KFC-to. But I knew him first.
I've known Singapore legend KFC-to for about 11 years now. He's the head guru of the Makan Sutra guides and websites.
Here we are.
A one-man encyclopedia of everything delicious in Singapore and beyond.
Hey, Yiz, my buddy, it's been a while.
How are
have
you,
you
brother?
been,
Right there.
man? Nice meeting you
Good to see
again.
you,
Welcome
man.
back. Oh, you get off a 17-hour flight and you begin filming?
I'm a professional.
That's right. Hey, okay, welcome to Tiong Bahru. And then we head on for some serious food before we do the rest.
Kind of breakfasty stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of good you can have for breakfast. Remember, this is a culture where there's no shame in a big bowl of steaming noodles or laksa first thing in the a.m. Stall after stall, often organized by nationality. Chinese over here, Malay halal here, Indian over there. Every owner-operator has 1 or 2 individual specialties. That's what they do best.
It is a very popular little place. It's steamed rice cakes and they put a lot of this preserved pickles and they fry it with lard and I don't know why, but somehow it tastes like chocolate.
Okay. How do you pronounce this dish?
Chui quick.
Awesome. You know, most cultures, most places, they treat street food like a problem to be solved. But for me, it's the #1 reason to come to Singapore is this. How much was this meal, by the way?
Like nothing, $1.20 or something.
Awesome.
Across town, and if I could be 2 places at once, I'd be there too, like right now, are the peanut pancakes at Tanglin Halt Hawker Center. These guys are famous for hand-picking, roasting, and grinding their own peanuts, something most other operations take a shortcut on.
This morning we set off before 7 o'clock. Took us about 3 hours, exactly 3 hours to reach here because we have all our favorite breakfast here. We have the noodles and we have this pancake which we have been eating this for almost 50 years. Very good, delicious, plenty of peanuts.
I mean, look, they sell everything. Fish paste made into balls, deep fried. People have them for breakfast. Soybean milk, noodles. Somebody is trying to sell you roast meat for breakfast. Oh, wait. Now, this is a lean meat offal pork ball soup flavored with pork stock and salted mustard leaves. But there is a very traditional glutinous rice and chestnut sausage. And that is an old school Teochew food. It's dying, and you dunk them in sweet sauce like molasses.
Yeah, let's get some of that. Nice.
Tuck in, Tony.
Thank you. I'll tell you, looks ugly going in the bowl, but man, is it good. If I had the same dish in a place with a bunch of ferns and plants, you know, sitting there and like this lounge music in the background, I would be very unhappy.
Fagging away.
Good. You know,
It's
I don't need
delicious.
my waiter in a tuxedo. I'm perfectly happy with a chef in shorts and boots.
Breakfast options at a place with over 109 food hawker centers like this one are pretty vast. There's wafeng wonton noodles, Tiong Bahru chicken rice, tiksing soybean milk and curd, minnan pork ribs prawn noodle, and the famous kampong carrot cake.
I mean, the other thing about coming to a place like this, it's kind of out of the tourist zone. If you notice, you're like the only informed tourist around here.
Right.
This is as local as it gets. So it all boils back down to the customers who knows their stuff.
Right.
If your food is no good, they vote you out.
And you can pretty much tell with a glance if the place is extraordinary or not. If there's a line of locals clamoring to get in or to get their order, that's a good sign.
Despite all the demolition and construction that's gone on over the decades, there are a couple of remnants of the bygone British colonial times. The black and white houses and the Tiong Bahru estate, from which the hawker market got its name.
The old and the new, Tony. That's what Singapore is turning into. And this is what Singapore was before.
I mean, traffic is not really a problem in Singapore like it is in New York or LA. Come
on, it's painful when you say such things. We pay through our nose for that situation. You know, to own a car here, I mean, you have to buy a license to own this.
And how much is the license?
At its highest, that piece of paper that allows you to go to a dealer to buy this car, to own it for 10 years only, $100,000.
For the privilege of buying the car.
Permission to own a car for 10 years, then you go buy. So if you buy a car like this, a China-made Cherry QQ, very cheap stuff, your certificate of entitlement will probably cost you more than a car. So yeah, no traffic jam. If there's a traffic jam, it may hit the news.
Right. See, I like it here. You know, I could go the rest of my life without ever seeing Sex in the City.
Tough,
Hey,
right?
I was published here without any edits at all.
See?
And I wrote a filthy, filthy book.
Oh, I read that one.
Best tip for people to experience Singapore would be ask the locals. The Singapore locals are really friendly and they love their city. So speak to the locals. They're the ones who always know the best places to go.
Raffles Hotel, pretty much synonymous with Singapore in a lot of people's minds. You know, I would say a huge proportion of the Western tourists who come here, they all march into the bar at Raffles and get their obligatory Singapore sling. Tip to travelers, skip that. No one in Singapore drinks Singapore slings. It's a disgusting drink. You don't want it, don't waste your time. Perfectly nice hotel, just skip the drink.
When you're in Singapore, just take a train, walk. It's such a small place.
It's hot though when you walk.
It
That's
is.
why I don't walk so often.
Tie up your hair and walk.
In Singapore, everything's close, but it's also hot. I can't remind you of that enough.
The climate of Singapore, as you can see, not only hot, but it's humid. You cannot be staying in the sun too long. After this, you better run to the air-conditioned place, certainly to cool yourself down.
Back home, I don't look forward to the subway. I try and avoid it. Here, it's clean, like nearly everything in Singapore. Shiny and new, and most importantly, cool.
Now, that's unglamorous for politicians to run on. Hey, I'm going to rebuild, you know, I'm going to spend money on infrastructure. Hey, this is what infrastructure looks like. Look, see, it tells you where you're going, when the train will be in here, how long you got.
Getting around the city, public transport is pretty good. The MRT is fantastic.
The noon hour approaches, and I've got a lot of cuisine left to cover. In spite of the fact that a sensible person would have a quick nap back at the hotel, you can sleep on the plane tomorrow. I'm meeting an old friend, Yin Hua. Yin's a TV producer I first met 5 years ago. She's Singaporean of Hainanese origin, not unusual around here.
To get from one place to another in Singapore, I think it's easiest probably and the best way to actually see Singapore if you just try to take a bus.
You could take the bus, like Yin. Either way gets you off the baking street and into a nice, cool place that gets you where you're going efficiently and for under $2.
Everything I need to know is on the screen. This happy voice tells me.
Next station, Chinatown.
Do you know what I hate? I hate people who don't walk on escalators. The escalators are to help you walk faster, not to avoid walking entirely, you fat, useless hump. Uh-oh. Let's see if this works. Woohoo!
Colonial District, where you'll find a mix of monuments, malls, and modern skyrises amidst the traditional shop houses. This area was once the heart of the Hainanese community. No longer, but there's still great food. Chin Chin Eating House, owned and operated by the same family since 1934. So there's continuity going for you. And one thing among many that they do well here is the Singaporean national dish, chicken rice. If there's one dish that's a must-try, it's chicken rice. You may not like it the best, but it's the dish that just might lead you to understand Singapore better.
What was the big breakthrough? It was the cooking the rice in the chicken broth?
That is the breakthrough because that is what no other dialect group did.
I mean, it's so beautiful, so austere and simple. I mean, look at it.
I like it with my black sauce drizzle on the rice first. Okay, now take a huge dump of this.
So a huge wad of ginger.
Yep.
Give it a bath in the chili.
A bath of the chili.
Right. It's a wonderful thing.
The intensity of how Singaporeans do love their chicken rice. It's
So who has the best chicken rice? That's an argument.
Ooh.
That's always going to be an argument.
Food options being abundant here, to say the least, you could also, if, say, you've had chicken rice already, or go the Chinese thing entirely and go Indian, say for biryani. No problem, of course. Over in Little India at Bismillah, owner Chef Arif grinds his own spices fresh and procures his own supply of whole sheep.
You see, I gave up a career wearing suit and tie, and I came into this biryani business. Biryani is the one and only Indian meal with the greatest difficulty to produce it, to cook it. And there are not very many people who can master it. And Singaporeans have well traveled. So when they see something, they can recognize it, whether it's a genuine biryani or a genuine curry or not.
I'm 56 years of age. I hail from the region where the biryani is made, and I think this is one of the best biryanis I've ever tasted in my life.
Back at Chin Chin, some shining examples of fusion.
Now, the pork chop, which is essentially just kind of like a tomato-based fried pork cutlet.
Right.
It's a traditional Hainanese food now, only because we've kind of like taken a lot of the Western influence.
Yeah, this is totally a mix of East and West. I mean, like even the chips and the peas.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, thank you. The other thing is the curry fish head. Now that is a dish.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I could just drink that.
Yes, I know. So the next place I would like to take you is the only flea market that still remains, and it's the oldest flea market in Singapore. It's called the Thieves Market.
So what kind of stuff can we expect to find there?
You're going to find very interesting things, but also very ridiculous things like phone adapters. Every week there'll be something different.
What about bootleg DVDs? I'm looking for a bootleg copy of Roadhouse 2 because I've never seen it, and I hear it's even better than Roadhouse 1.
But you know what? You really wouldn't know.
Is it anything could happen kind of a...
Anything can happen.
I'm hoping.
15-minute walk from our lunch spot, the Changi Road Thieves Market is a last holdout from the old Singapore.
Because already I can see it. Does not look like the Singapore I know.
Not at all. It is very different. You see what I mean by randomness?
Yeah. Shiny stones and cell phones.
And then bathroom utilities.
Hey, you read about the phone adapters? Man, I'll tell you, a lot of remote controllers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
TV sets that are long gone.
Not into spending all day shopping for cell phone chargers and wooden phalluses like me, you could check out Singapore's justifiably famous botanical gardens, a riot of green and growing things. Founded over 150 years ago, it started as overgrown plantations and virgin rainforests, but now a place to escape the city hustle and bustle. Hate bustling, hate bustling. Like hustling, hate bustling.
The top list of things to take my visiting friends to would be a lot of the outdoor things in Singapore. There's beautiful trees. Everywhere you go, you just find some little gem of an area.
And of course, you've got the bumboats for the river cruise, which is actually something I've done and enjoyed.
I think the skyline changed rapidly also. I think in 2 years or 3 years, we had a new skyline. It is very beautiful up there and it looks really good.
Meanwhile, back at Thieves Market, ooh, look, cell phone chargers.
So we're looking for your roadhouse.
I know it's out there.
Old records?
33 1/3. Wow, I'm telling you.
And you think you know music, right?
I thought I know music, but I don't know any of these people. And these are all, like, you know, these are Western records, too.
City Slickers, they were Laserdisc.
City Slickers, too, on Laserdisc.
That's right, that's the ones.
Oof. Oh, my life would be so much better if I only had that. Well, I didn't find my Roadhouse 2, but I hear it's even better than Roadhouse 1. It's hard to imagine sans Swayze, but...
The afternoon slips by and I'm left empty-handed. Nothing. Not so much as a Don Ho vinyl or cell phone charger. Just couldn't find my model. Back to hotel, shower, change shirt. Oh no, I can't. Continuity. I have to wear this same damp, reeking thing for the duration of this show. I smell like I've been rolling around in sheep guts.
Singapore indeed is a city of contrast, but we're growing up really rapidly, and I think we recognize that we've lost a lot of soul. So what is old here is very precious these days.
Half a day gone. This time tomorrow, I'll be halfway across the Pacific, watching some Jennifer Aniston film on a plane and eating hard cheese. It's late in the day, but the sun is still coming down hard, the heat radiating up out of the concrete.
If you're going to build a city, they're pretty much at the forefront here of city design. I mean, they made a lot of mistakes early on. You know, they bulldozed a lot of really beautiful old structures. But lately, they're doing some pretty kooky stuff. You know, for a largely vertical city and a modern city, it's still one of the greenest cities I could think of. There's growing stuff everywhere.
The Singapore government likes to boast that their tiny island is actually almost 50% covered in greenery. You can see it all from the Singapore Flyer, of course. Not my kind of thing, the world's tallest Ferris wheel, and it is $25. You might want to skip it. I would.
The Singapore Flyer is just open. You can try that out. That's like 45 minutes, if I'm not wrong. I haven't actually been on that before because I'm scared of heights and I'm scared of circles.
Afternoon turns to early evening. Big wheel? No, not in this life or the next. You want a view? There's another option, possibly a better one, in the Marina Bay district. The insane-looking surfboard-like deck balanced atop 3 buildings called the Sky Park.
The best view in Singapore would be Coup d'etat at the top of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. That's definitely a very good view.
Along with its infinity pool, they also have a bar nightclub called Coup d'etat. And although it can be a bit of a circus, if you bother to dress, and Singaporeans do like to dress, you can have a cold drink and a great view.
Awesome. Maybe a gin tonic? When I get too close to the edge, you feel it in my calves. You know what I mean? That sort of trembly, cold, icy thing.
Mio TV.
I've known Russell Wong a long time. He's Asia's premier celebrity photographer and an artist in his own right as well. Also a guy who likes food, like nearly everybody around here. He also makes a point of bringing me someplace different and delicious each time I'm here. This time around, he's bringing me to Sammy's Curry on Dempsey Hill, on the site of a former British military base. These are, in fact, old barracks buildings. Here it's Southern Indian cooking, everything served on a banana leaf.
Cheers, man. So this is cool. This is what they normally serve. Like, this is like the staple drink, lime juice. You know,
Oh yeah, I had some of that for dinner the other day, for lunch, for breakfast, yes. For breakfast today, right? I don't even know how long I've been here. I'm like, in town. I mean, it's been a whirlwind tour.
Like most places here, low-key, casual, no. It's funny, Singapore is a very materialistic place. Joke being, there's not much to do here but eat and shop. And Singaporeans do like to dress up and go out. But their food, the vast majority of spaces to get that food, are casual like this. You rarely see a jacket or tie here outside of government offices and official events.
This is what I come for over here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the chicken masala here.
Lamb? A little bit, yeah.
Some small shrimp, Tony. Small dinky ones.
That's a good looking prawn.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is biryani.
That's beautiful. I love the smell of this rice. Oh.
There you go, your fish head.
Oh my God. 2 fish heads one day. Awesome. Oh, man.
Do you want an eye?
Oh, I had an eye already today.
Come on, have an
it's
eye.
all yours, man.
Be a man, Tony.
That would be my second eye today now.
On the swank end I was talking about, people say nice things about Kilo. It's Italian-Japanese along the Geylang River. Younger, hipper, which kind of leaves me right the out of it. Owned by a Puerto Rican and a Singaporean Chinese. Apparently you can get mango tuna poke and prawn and chili pizza.
We love things that are old and kind of bringing them back to life, but not modernizing them. And the food is a little bit of everything. My partner and I, we joke around that it's confusion. So it always changes, and hopefully within time, we change and the food changes.
Also, there's this place, Candlenut Kitchen, where I have eaten. And it's good. Located in an old shop house in Chinatown, it serves Peranakan cooking, considered vital to the area and the sort of roots cuisine around here, originating with the first Chinese immigrants. It's a blend of Chinese and Malay, with spice blends and flavors from the whole China Straits, Indonesian, Malay, and unique to this part of the world. Back at Sammy's, we're hitting the food hard. Masala chicken, Mysore mutton, sambal prawn, fish head, fish cutlet, and of course the naan bread, rice, cucumber raita, pumpkin dal, and papadam. I think I won't be needing dessert.
Bring out more stuff, man. That's all. So which one do you like?
The masala is pretty awesome. The prawn, really good. The fish head curry is, of course, amazing. Fish cake, not bad, too.
Yeah. So have you seen anything new since you came? Do you think this place has changed, then, since you've been around and stuff?
You know what? It is physically different, I know, for people who've lived here. But for me, it was always dazzling. You know, there was always stuff going on. All my memories take place in hotels and in restaurants and hawker centers. And so it's not like they paved over my favorite anything.
Is this stuff burning you up?
No, that's good.
You pay in the morning, though, trust me.
I always do.
Don't call me in the morning. I'm busy.
We have a nice place to visit, but just to come here to visit this place is not enough. We have to satisfy the stomach.
Places stay open late in Singapore. Restaurants and eateries until 1, 2, or 3 in the morning off times. Bars and clubs, later, often much later. I'm here for little more than one night, so in spite of the fact that I'm in pain, sweating through my fetid clothes, cranky, my stomach distended like a gaseous piñata, I'm actually going to eat again. Cito picks me up for some late-night adventuring. Cars, expensive. Scooters, less so. Easier to park, too.
So we've just exited Orchard Road, and we're going into where the Marina Bay Sands, posh hotels, the F1 route is, where the blah, blah, blah. Does Tony look constipated?
Yeah.
We're en route in a roundabout way to unofficial food capital of Singapore, Geylang district. A lot of the time, everything looks new in Singapore, and most of the time, it is. Even the ground these buildings are erected on, new. Landfill claimed from the sea, with sand bought from Indonesia and Cambodia. The country is literally growing, and fast.
You've been to this latest monster? They're all new. This popped up overnight. Last year, this too. Hang on there, Tony. We'll get you a cup of teh tarik real soon, huh? If you have just 1 hour or 2 hours in Singapore, you have one place to go. And if you're a foodie like me, go to Geylang, the unofficial food capital of Singapore. It's buzzing. Nobody sleeps till 5 a.m.
Brace yourself for the aroma of your life.
Geylang is both traditional red light district and food wonderland, literally on alternating streets. It may surprise you that in this famously law and order nanny state where even Sex in the City is censored, prostitution is tolerated and even controlled by the state. This becomes immediately apparent in Geylang and even downtown at the notorious Orchard Towers. But assuming you're here for the food, and I am, let me hasten to say, this would be a good neighborhood to be. Geylang clay pot rice. To do it right means getting that layer of rice on the bottom crisped just right.
This is Atiam. He's the boss of Geylang clay pot rice. Smile. The clay pot rice is a very traditional South Chinese food. They use clay pots like this. They put rice and a very measured amount of water in there, and they slow cook this over. The wood smoke just goes into the rice, and a whole host of stuff in there. Chicken that's marinated in wine, soy sauce, Chinese sausages, liver and meat sausages, salted fish, mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Okay, the show starts now. A clay pot rice, meet Tony, Tony meet clay pot rice.
Let's do it, my man.
Do it, Tony, do it.
Oh, see, the rice is awesome. The chicken's awesome. Man, that is some strong fish going on there.
Whenever I eat out here, there's no stopping at one dish.
Whoa.
Just because I came here for the clay pot rice doesn't mean that's all we're eating. There's tempura'd soft-shell crabs and chili and curry leaves, string beans with dried fish powder flavoring.
I mean, doesn't sound like a good thing, powdered dried fish, but of course it makes perfect sense.
Slipper lobster and pumpkin curry sauce, manila clams and sambal chili sauce.
There's some good stuff, dude.
And steamed grouper in soy and ginger.
It was a life when we came.
I have no doubt about it.
A good Chinese chef will never deep fry a fresh fish. It's blasphemy.
Really?
Yeah, in the food Bible. The Chinese food Bible.
Next stop, Arab Street, a neighborhood known locally as Kampong Glam, once the heart of Muslim life in Singapore. Now it's shopping by day and wall-to-wall eateries, bars, and nightlife by night. You'll find hookah shops, a mosque or two, and many, many tea joints, Malay restaurants, and cafes. Smoke some shisha, eat some good halal food. Tonight, we're here for the tea only.
Oh, look at this man, look at this man. This is the look. When you come to Singapore, you don't wind up like this, you're not in Singapore. Places like this make you wind up like that.
What do you call it again?
The word here is called lepak. Just hang out, just let it all hang, man. Lepak, that's it, lepak, that's it.
Pulled tea is a tradition around here and throughout the region. Black tea and condensed milk, poured or pulled back and forth to make it frothy and aerated to enhance flavor and cool it down to a drinkable temperature.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
If it's drinks you're after, there's bar stories on Haji Lane just 2 blocks over. But not me. Not tonight.
It's more like a bespoke cocktail bar using fresh woods. Cheers, rosemary cooler.
And it's too bad they're so harsh on drug usage in Singapore. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but it would be righteously weird to do the night safari thing in the north region of town. Stand in the dark, gaping at nocturnal creatures prowling and humping under fake moonlight. Not high? Maybe not. I don't know. If the kids are jet-lagged, maybe it's a cool thing to do. Meanwhile, back at tea on Arab Street.
Along with the low crime rate comes a number of strict, severe, and often quirky laws. Failure to flush a public toilet after use. Have you ever heard of anyone being prosecuted for this?
Not yet, not yet.
Littering, we know that's bad, but who's for littering? And according to this completely erroneous guide, certain sexual activities can result in harsh fines and penalties. Not in my experience. An outrage of modesty.
Okay.
Refers to an assault with the intent to outrage the modesty of that person.
Right.
See, I'd have
We're
a problem.
the only country in the world that does that.
Pretty much the joke is out. I would have a problem with that.
Ordinarily about now, I'd be beating a prostitute to death, covered in gore and frantically trying to dispose of the evidence. Tarpaulin, choppy, car trunk, wooded area. But that's illegal here. Damn you, nanny state. What's a libertarian to do?
The climate in Singapore is pretty much the same all year round. It's supposed to be 3 seasons. It's hot, hotter, and shopping.
We drive from Arab Street to Little India. I'm done eating. I want to take a look at the absurdly enormous, constantly growing beast of a superstore, Mustafa Center. Open 24 hours and like some sort of Matrix sequel, it keeps growing and growing and probably one block after another, an eternity of kitsch. A Costco, IKEA, dress barn, grocery store, and souvenir stand combined.
We're gonna get lost inside.
Pharmacy, luggage, souvenirs. Ooh.
Okay, Tony, roughly, the plan here is, Tony, we're gonna get lost.
All right.
Okay? And when we're done, we go home.
Can do.
Okay, name me something you feel like buying now. Very likely they'll have it.
Something interesting that my daughter would find entertaining. Snow globe, big on snow globes.
Snow globes. Yeah, I think I know where they are. This is just one floor of one stretch of the road. Everything, Tony. Spices, bags, toiletries, clothes.
Cookies, piggy banks, bric-a-brac. Well, it's just like never ending. And now we're in the meat section, fruits and vegetables.
Frozen stuff, Tony. American diners.
It just keeps coming as far as the eye can see. This is insane. I've had nightmares that it just keeps going forever and ever and ever.
Wow, look at the fishes.
Deeper and deeper. Fish heads?
Ointments.
I don't know what I need in the way of cleaning supplies. I think we have to go...
Let's go down.
A massage chair?
Okay, roundabout now, I have no bloody idea where we are, so...
Foot care? Oh, artificial fountain section. Ooh, you know what I found that I'm very excited about? A toilet. That was a personal high point for me.
Getting a ship in a bottle, that means we're very close to snow globes.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hey.
Ooh, penguin ones.
Doggy one.
Nah, the little doggies. I'm all about the penguins. Look, they're magical penguins from such films as, I forget the name. All he wants to do is dance. Then he's reintroduced into the wild.
Okay, Tony,
You know, all my shopping needs are pretty much taken care of. I got something for as much as I like to get a 20-pound bag of pistachios, California pistachios, no less. I think I'm.
It's that
set.
time of the night.
Yeah.
8-hour nap. Sounds good, eh?
Sleep. In the end, I use about 1/50th of my palatial suite at the hotel, the bed. I actually get a little sleep before heading back to the airport, but I've been smart. Careful to allow time for the quintessential breakfast around these parts, nasi lemak. On the way to the airport, the Changi Village Hawker Center in a residential neighborhood has a famously good one. It doesn't sound like much, but believe me, this is important. Egg, fried chicken or fish, sambal, and coconut rice. From the long, slow-moving line, it's clearly worth waiting for the best. I know from experience it is.
This is one of the things I love about like these hawker centers. Notice nasi lemak sold here, nasi lemak sold there. Here, there's a slow-moving line in the sweltering heat. I don't know, half an hour, 40-minute wait for the same item they're selling over there. No one online. The people have spoken.
If you're not into waiting online, you could have the exact opposite experience over in the Colonial District. Momo and Mumu. Here you get tea served classic Brit colonial style at tea time, along with cucumber sandwiches. Quiet, refined, and at subarctic air-conditioned temperatures. More comfortable perhaps than standing here sweating down your ass crack. But better? I don't think so.
You wouldn't think fried chicken, tiny little fried dried fish, crispy fish, fish cake, rice, sambal, and an egg would all go together so well. Oh, but they do, my friends, they do. It works, man. That is magic.
To the airport. And if you're going to be stuck in an airport, just hope it's this one.
And the last thing I would like to advise is don't eat until you go too fat, okay?
Look how it's pink flowers all the way to the airport. It's like the yellow brick road. Poppies.
Changi Hawker Center was only 5 minutes away. I'm at the airport in plenty of time. Changi Airport is one of the very few airports in this world where you actually might want to arrive early. You've got the usual perks of a good airport: hotels, day rooms, shopping. For stuff you might actually want to buy. There's edible food, and in pretty decent variety.
So, easily, by far, the best airport in the world.
Here, it goes way further. Seriously. There's a free movie theater, free internet, reclining chairs, smoking lounges, a super slide, indoor gardens.
Let's see, what do we got here? What are our options? The entertainment deck, play Xbox and PlayStation, a children's play area, TV and entertainment lounges, movie theater, 3D experience zone, rooftop swimming pool, rainforest lounge with jacuzzi, massage, napping facilities, and shower, hair and beauty services, the butterfly garden perhaps we'd like to visit, or the koi pond. Oh, there's an art gallery, fern garden, world's longest slide. Feeling a little hot, a little sticky after my exertions this morning. Give me a nice refreshing dip and a boat drink. SkyTrain.
I opt for a dip in the rooftop pool and a cold one.
I hear my pina colada being up here. Beer? Thank you.
Still a little time left for a personal weakness, an airport massage.
I don't know if I have time for a movie or to see a show, but first things first. Hello. Hi. I think foot reflexology, please. Thank you.
Now, you could opt for the micro fish version, where these little fish nibble the dead skin off your feet, but that idea totally creeps me out, and who knows whose feet those things have had their mouths on before me. There's a legendary hawker center for workers above the parking garage of Terminal 2, but I've had it. I'm done. The last few moments of quiet reflection. Maybe one more level of those damn Angry Birds.